When I asked you the question around conceptual clarification around the dual vocational system, you took a minute to explain the cultural values and systems underpinning of that, which was quite instructive to me. Now, it is apparent that in Nigeria, we do not follow that approach. So if you are to recommend to a place where this, if we take that part, is going to start from the scratch, what is the entry point?
Well, thank you very much. That's precisely the reason I started with this point, and I think Christian just mentioned the saying. These systems build on a society, on something which exists, and to change a society and values, this takes at least generations. So you have to be very realistic with that, otherwise if you will just copy and think it works, it will not work, because the basic things are not there. So, I mean, the basic advice I can tell from Switzerland, it's actually also really, honestly, our history, is let these bottom-up approaches happen. And I mean, just the last panel, again, I was surprised how many excellent things you have here. And there are hundreds, and I'm convinced hundreds of beautiful initiatives here. So these are for me all cases you can learn. What is currently, and we discussed a bit with you, that what is missing is the point where those experiences are collected, and that people can learn from each other, and that gradually, companies cooperate. Companies have also in both our systems, in Germany and in Switzerland, they have to work together because they are in the same boat. If you don't get this, it's again a value maybe thing, I don't know. If you get, Gordon, you exactly stressed this point, that you are in the same boat, and that you just not look only for your small thing, but you look for the wider thing, and you look a bit in the long term. And then if you see, among the most successful countries in the world is Germany and Switzerland, and we adopted this kind of system, and it came about, gradually, and by the cooperation from the private sector, by the cooperation together, support from the government, step by step. It will take time. You need also to give this time, but it should be a continuously learning experience. And I think often now, countries, that's a problem for us with time. I think we are old, unfortunately, Switzerland and Germany. So, you are a young society. I was a long time in Asia. The societies, they move at a much faster speed than as us. So sometimes I get a bit afraid because, you have absolutely the opportunity to catch up and to do the things we did much faster. In our systems, it took maybe 3 generations. So maybe, you could be successful in 1 or 1.5 if you really get the right things together. I would really hope that. Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Blank, you wanted to add to that?
Yes. Let me allow me to add one tiny little thing which is very important. In order to be successful when it comes to dual vocational training, you need a special kind of perception. You need a perception by the companies that training is an investment. It pays back. Many companies, they are shy when it comes to training because they think, why should I put money into it and afterwards the student is leaving? And very often I talk to companies, they came over to me saying, why should I train? What if I train and they leave? And my answer would be, what if you don't train and they stay?